College. Welcome. This is such a great turnout. Before I forget, I did reference these two books here that are about executive functioning, which we're going to do a deep dive today. And they're more for, this one is probably better equipped for our higher ed population, and this one is probably better fit for like a K through 12 population. Hi, Hunter. I got the idea of bringing books from you, so you guys can pass those around. So my name is Angela Staunton. I've been here at Triton for 10 years. I have two older children and a husband. My daughter is a senior in high school. My son's a sophomore, and I love to read. And I just recently, in the last year and a half, started lifting weights. So if you all would introduce yourself, tell me what department you're from, and something that you enjoy doing outside of here at Triton. I'd love to meet all of you. Chef, you want to start?
I'm Manny Uribe, one of the faculty members here. I teach the culinary classes. Fun fact, I don't know, I really don't. I suck at this game, the fun fact thing.
Yeah.
I cook all the time. I love cooking with my kids. I have 3 daughters, so they keep me busy. I'm going to school myself, so I'm trying to learn how to balance all this and still be able to help our students.
Where are you going to school?
So I'm going to National Louis.
Nice.
So I'm trying to get my MBA.
Okay.
And then we'll see what's next.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good for you. Goal setting is one of the 12 executive functioning skills. Do you mind introducing yourself, Mike?
No, not at all.
Right on time.
Hi, yeah, right on time.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Mike Mango. I am first year tenure track for accounting and business, but I've been here since 2017. So
good to see you.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
My name is Soraya Farmasi. I teach at adult education. It's been many years that I'm teaching there. ESL mostly, grammar, reading, writing, everything.
Nice. Nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Ellen Vanderhook. I also teach in the adult ed department, ESL. I've been at Triton for 25 years. I look so young, I know. and outside of class, gardening, whatever. No weightlifting, too lazy.
I garden too. All right, nice to meet you. Hi.
I'm Frank Albino, and I'm with the CIS department.
Okay.
I've been at Triton for a while. And outside of Triton, I like to, and I kind of discovered it a little later in life, but golf. I'm not good at it, as they say. I love golf, but it doesn't love me, kind of thing. But something to keep practicing at.
Sure. Are you taking lessons?
The best advice I was given was to play more.
Yeah.
I have friends that offer lots of advice.
Sure. It's hard to take advice on the golf course. Is it? All right, nice to meet you.
Hi, my name is Luz Vasquez. I've been an adjunct for 8 years, and actually, this is my first semester as full-time faculty. Outside of work, I have a 9-year-old and a 10-year-old that keep me busy, and 3 dogs and a rabbit. So that's what I do for fun. Take care of them. Keeping them alive is a good thing.
Yeah. All right.
Hi, my name is Mary Ann Kennedy. I'm with the GED department, GED math. And I taught here in the 80s and 90s, left, and now I'm back the last few years. And what I enjoy doing is Wordles, Sudokus, Nerdles, all that kind of thing. I can just happily sit for a few hours and do puzzles.
Nice. Connections, do you do?
Oh, yes.
There's days where I can get them all, and then there's days I can't even get one.
Well, that's the fun of it, though.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm teaching my friends.
It's true.
Each time I struggle with it.
And then what's the puzzle one? Like with all the designs? I forgot what that's called.
Oh, I don't do design ones.
I like that one. That's fun. All right, nice to meet you all.
Hi, I'm Nick Oliski. It's my third semester teaching here. I'm adjunct faculty for behavioral sciences. I teach sociology. Outside of work, I watch movies and sports. That's about it.
All right. Welcome. All right. We will do this table and then I'll head back there. Go ahead.
I'm Terry McConville. I'm an adjunct in the education department, and I play on a women's ice hockey team for fun.
Nice.
I'm Brian Mauricio, first semester, first year faculty, full-time faculty.
Nice.
I work in the radiology department for the radiological technology program. Outside of work, I've been trying to learn guitar, but I have like no time with all this going on. So then I'm just gonna hang out with my dog.
Fun.
Hi, I'm Susan McCartney. I've been here 7 years, and I teach math for GED and adult ed. Outside of work, I like to read, and Mary Ann told me about Wordle, so I do that all the time.
Yes, that's the first thing I do before I get out of bed. And then I send it to my friend. I send the Wordle and the connections, and we always have like an emoji with it, like, we missed it, or we got it. Hi.
Hello. I'm Nicole Sampano. I'm the Director of Distance Learning for Triton, which is a brand new position. Outside of work, anything else, outside really, being outside and a good martini. And I do Wordle and connections every morning as well.
Awesome.
Hi everybody, my name is Shakina Lawrence, faculty librarian at our Triton College Library in the chair. Been here since 21, and I'm going to Paris in March, so I've been obsessed with everything Paris right now. So that is my thing that I do outside of work. I'm watching walk, and trying to figure out the great places to eat, and all of the vintage stores. And I'm just obsessed right now. So me and my mom and my sisters are going for my 50th birthday.
What a great trip. Can't wait to hear about it. I know.
I feel you're gaslighting me. My name's Hunter Steckemeyer. I teach early childhood classes in the education department. Depends on when you ask me what I like to do for fun. I'm getting back into plays right now, and I actually just read Gaslight, which is where gaslighting came from. So thank you for reminding me of that. All right.
I'm Vince Radel. I'm in the science department. I teach chemistry, and I love to fish.
Nice. Where do you fish?
Mostly ponds in the area, some of the rivers, just anywhere where, mostly close to home, just because I don't have much time.
All right. What kind of fish can you find in local?
I like to fish for bass,
Mm-hmm.
but also you can find crappie, bluegill, occasional perch.
All right. And are we eating the fish?
No, I usually don't eat them. I release.
Okay. All right. Well, this looks like a really great group. I'm excited to share some ideas with the group, and I thought I'd start with kind of what the overview of what today is going to look like. I'm going to have you in just a minute take a questionnaire, because obviously once we understand our own executive functioning skills, we can help our students better. So we'll get into what exactly executive functioning skills are, why do EF skills and core capabilities matter, and then how can we as faculty support our students. I'm sure we all have a lot of stories even from this past semester of our students really, dropping the ball on some things. Okay, so I want to just kind of get your idea. Number one, what do you guys know about executive functioning skills? Anything at all, feel free to blurt it out. Do we know?
Learning how to behave in an interview.
Sure, that could be possibly one.
How to manage or control an environment.
Yes, manage or control an environment, or maybe your impulses, right? Any other ideas of executive functioning skills?
Time management.
Time management is huge, okay? Any other ideas?
Organization.
organization. I mean, my students come to class and they have these crumpled up papers. I'm like, I literally said, can I buy you a folder? I have folders in my office. No, I'm good. And I'm like, no, right? Organization is huge. Any other skills that you can think of? Flexibility, for sure. Communication is definitely in there. And these kind of all overlap. Depending on the source that you look at, there's about 12 or maybe 13. I know we have Kara, she tells us, is it 12? I don't know. Depending on what you're reading, there's maybe 12 or 13. We're also going to dive into these core capabilities that are also a part of executive functioning skills. So how has your approach to teaching these skills in the classroom? Have you been successful at it? Maybe I should have just said, have you ever taught these skills? Has anyone taught these skills? How about, I'll raise your hand. A couple of us.
Implicitly.
Implicitly, okay. Can you expand on that?
Just like telling students to do their work before they do date.
Yes, by telling them, yep.
Yeah, so like for every class, because I like teach 7 or 8, I have a calendar that outlines what we're doing and the due dates, just to help them stay on track. And I usually have something to do every week just to get them in that habit.
Get it into the habit. So referencing the calendar, and I'm trying to learn names. I wrote everybody's names down. Tell me your name
Hi,
again.
Mary
Marianne, okay.
I think just having a morning agenda that you post, and I think having an organized syllabus, with dates and based on what is going on in each day, and what you're going to cover. I think that's all pretty.
Yeah, definitely. Any other things?
I do follow the same pattern for every class. So we always start with puzzles. They have their time to work on our system, math system. We have a break, and then we have group time. So it follows like that. So if they come in, whatever time they should know what's going on. Although some people still go, what am I supposed to do?
Uh-huh. All right, so those routines help us, right? And it makes it very predictable for a student, whether they're coming in 5 minutes, 10 minutes late, and they know what to expect. That's important for a lot of our students. So let's take a look now. Okay, so like I said, I want you to take this questionnaire, and it's going to take maybe 10 minutes, maybe 10, okay? There's 36 questions. You're going to write down, you're going to give a score between strongly agree as 7, strongly disagree as 1. And then once you tally up each section, you're then going to start to see where these particular skills lie within those 12 areas. So thank you, Laura, for helping me pass out these packets.
Everyone gets one, correct?
Yeah.
So, yeah. She said, "Have a nice day." You know, so I did it, and then, yeah, have a good day. I almost was like, I'm just gonna let her stay. We can just go.
Laura, is there a way I can write on the board using this? Do I prefer it?
You just gotta tap on the board. Something should pop up. Let me see that real quick.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, that's not it. Where's that mouse? There we go. Okay.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you. Okay. So I kind of just gave you a quick idea here on the board. Items 1 through 3 are referring to response inhibition, and it kind of shows it in that box at the end. Items 4 through 6, working memory, so on and so forth. Brian, how do you erase it now? Do you know?
Yeah, you can tap on the screen again.
Yeah.
And
Usually, like, when in the smart board, you just use your like knuckles.
there it is.
Oh.
And then you can just click that one.
Okay.
That one erases everything.
Thanks. Okay. Oh, and you just hit yes?
Yes, delete all of them.
Ah, okay.
So I guess on this one, you just have to click the arrow. On other ones,
Okay,
you can just
thank
click
you.
on this and
Yeah.
it pops up.
Thank you so much.
Huh?
All right, if you guys wouldn't mind wrapping up. All right, so I think, like I mentioned, sometimes when we dive into a task, we kind of better understand through our own process. Once we know where our strengths and weaknesses lie, then we can probably help our students as well a little bit more. So thinking of these 12 executive functioning skills that were in this questionnaire, where do you think your students are having the most difficult time now? I know we looked at our own skills, but if you were to pick 3, what are the 3 areas that you're seeing consistently in your students that need, you know, are the challenges for your students? Yes?
Time management.
Time management, okay. How could I do this? I'm thinking like a little tally. So Time management, what else are we seeing?
Task initiation.
Task initiation, that's huge. And that ties into that procrastination. What else? Oops. Oh, yeah. Sustained attention. And it's that whole back and forth. Do we allow the phones? Do we not allow the phones, right? You know, some students can only last 5 minutes and then they pull out that phone. What else are we seeing?
Working memory in adult ed students.
Okay. Working memory. So where do you, like, can you expand on that?
Adult students, you know, have a busy life, they have a family to take care, a job, probably 2 or 3 part-time jobs, and then they have to attend classes. It's very hard for them to study, so they mostly learn things while they're in class, and it's hard to remember the information. And just twice a week for 3 hours.
Sure.
And then they close the books, they go home, and then the next class they come. They completely forget what happened.
Okay. And so maybe that's their least, you know, the lower priority of all the things that they're doing. Like you said, 3 jobs, right?
For them, the priority is their family.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. And that's what we all, you know, family is our priority, right? But yeah, we're here to teach and have our students learn, and we want to make sure it sticks for them. So maybe we'll learn a couple of ways to do that, right? Through sharing, through telling stories that connect them to the material so it does, you know, last a longer time in their working memory, or shifts to their long-term memory, I should say. Any other areas that we're seeing difficulties for our
stress tolerance?
Stress. The stress is unbelievable, and I'm getting more and more emails about, you know, why they can't come, and this popped up, and this popped up, right? So it's not too late. We can help our students. So I will have a link to this in the slides that Laura will share with everybody. So you could, you know, have your students fill out this questionnaire and kind of prioritize that with them. All right, so we've been talking about executive functioning skills, but there are kind of what Harvard University is calling the core capabilities for life. So within these 12, there are 4 areas, and hopefully this won't be blurry when I show it, but I want to show this video.
Building core capabilities for life.
That's loud. Does anybody need closed captioning in a different language? I always ask my students, how do I lower this? Okay.
Every day we take on the ordinary, sometimes challenging tasks of work, school, parenting, relationships, and just managing our busy lives. How do we navigate these tasks successfully? And what can send us off course? Science offers an explanation. We all need a set of core capabilities that we can develop with practice over time. Scientists call them executive function or self-regulation skills, and they help us to focus on what's important, to plan ahead, set goals, and meet them. They help us deal with whatever life throws at us and still keep heading where we need to go. They help us resist impulsive behaviors.
Stop.
And change course when we need to. No one is born with executive function skills, but everyone can build them. We build them through a lifetime of making connections within and among the regions of the brain. Our brains begin life with billions of neurons, rapidly connecting to each other as we experience the world around us, making trillions of connections in just a few years. Early simple circuits form a foundation that more complex circuits and skills build on as we grow and have new experiences. These complex circuits, built throughout childhood and reaching across vast regions of the brain, make our core capabilities possible. The more we use these connections, the stronger and faster they become. That's why practice is so important. When we are children, we practice these skills by playing games, learning teamwork, adjusting to new rules. We continue to develop these skills in adolescence by managing school and other things like work, sports, music, and relationships. When we practice executive function skills, circuits rapidly connect the prefrontal cortex to other parts of the brain. These circuits act like an air traffic control system in the brain. They manage incoming information and help us respond with intention, not on impulse. Threatening or stressful experiences activate different circuits, and those trigger automatic responses: fight, flight, or freeze. We need automatic responses for survival, but if stress is constant, these automatic fight or flight circuits become stronger and faster than our more productive intentional circuits, the ones we use for executive function and self-regulation. For anyone under stress, it's hard to call on intentional skills. If we've been experiencing serious stress from our earliest years, the stress caused by poverty, violence, or addiction, a chaotic environment, it's even harder. Under lots of stress every day, it's harder still. The key is counterbalancing those automatic responses by building up our intentional ones, by building strong executive function skills. The good news is these core capabilities can be strengthened. How? By redesigning our systems so they reduce the sources of stress in people's lives, by simplifying how services are provided to families, helping them meet basic needs and building on strengths, because small successes lead to bigger ones. With less stress, we can practice the skills we already have and build new circuits for the intentional responses we need. Stronger brain circuits are built through practice in situations that matter. That's true for children, it's true for adolescents, and it's true for adults. Helping children build skills gives them a strong foundation for all that comes later. Helping teens build their skills propels them into greater success as adults and parents. And helping adult caregivers build their core capabilities ensures success at work, stable homes, and responsive relationships for the next generation. When our communities work together to help children and adults build these skills, we create a positive cycle as one generation passes them on to the next. And that helps us all.
All right. So in the beginning, they said there are some things that trigger our students and send them off course. So we already kind of started talking about them. What are those things that send them off course? Stress. Coming from every single direction. What else? Responsibilities, yeah. Jobs, families, right? Deadlines can be hard, right? If they've got a couple of essays due in the same week or a couple tests. So all this is building up, right? And then they get away from the bigger picture. We're forgetting the big end goal in sight, right? So for some of them, it's just graduating out of adult ed classes and then transitioning here, right? And for some of them, it's transitioning to a 4-year. What are some other goals of our students?
Start a career.
Start a career, yeah. make a good salary that they can, feed their family, whatever that looks like, buy a car. There could be all different things. So sometimes if we don't have that goal, that reminder, that's where all of these other things crumble, and they just looking at the automatic responses like the video mentioned. So by kind of instilling some of these practices that are outlined in the packet, now we have a base to provide that consistency in the classroom, if that makes sense. So those 4 core capabilities were here: planning, self-control, focus, awareness, and flexibility. And then, what are some of those things that derail us? And we kind of mentioned some of them. And sometimes I think we forget about how food, like unhealthy processed junk food, can, derail us. Again, unpredictable environments, chaos, whether it's at home or school. So I love how somebody said they provide a predictable classroom environment every single day. They might, put an agenda up too, so they know they're going to share that calendar, and we're going to get into all of those ideas as well. And I'm trying to make sure I'm on time. Okay. If anyone was at Hunter Stuckermeyer's trauma session, she talked a little bit about adverse childhood experiences. And so all of these adverse childhood experiences can affect our executive functioning. But then also there are what we call dual ACEs. It could be our community that are also affecting us. What's really, really cool that I'm noticing after being here for some time now, a lot of our departments are starting to work a lot closer. I've been having a lot of transfer representatives come in and talk to my students about, 4-year institutions. And I don't know, Patricia in the transfer center, she's done a good job, organizing that. And there's these ideas and opportunities that pop into my students' heads then, and they're like, oh, I didn't know about Eastern. I didn't know they were in the transfer center. I'm like, wait a minute, how do they not know this stuff, right? And we forget as faculty, because all we're focusing on is our craft, our, area of expertise. So we as Triton College also have to do a good job of offering some of these, inclusive opportunities for our students. So again, the video kind of mentioned this, but any of these kind of early childhood experiences are going to impact whether or not their executive functioning skills have been developed. But like the video said, we have to practice it. And we have to practice it, in K through 12 setting, and we have to practice it now. I have to practice it as an adult. It's really, really important. So here, again, is kind of like an overview of what we saw in the video, but over time, we can increase these executive functioning skills. All right, so these are some common challenges faced by students, and we've kind of touched upon these already after doing our questionnaire. So take a second to read those. Oh, and let me erase this, huh? Is that it? Oh, no, this.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So we've talked about procrastination, trouble maintaining attention. I just started implementing like visual or doodle notes in my classroom. And so when we're taking or we're watching a video, they can kind of doodle. They have these different templates available to them. I've even created my own based on the lecture. And so then again, they kind of don't even have an option not to take notes. I'm like, take the notes, and then sometimes they're allowed to use it on a test. So that can sometimes combat the phone or laptop usage that we're seeing. And then the deadlines, appointments, right? They're not coming to class on time. It's like ongoing. And I swear this semester, it's been really bad. They just keep, like, I swear half my classes are like half full. I don't know what's happening. All right, so here's that we know something is going on with the kid, right? Again, they're frequently late or they're unprepared. They're missing those assignments or submitting incomplete work. They're asking for frequent deadline extensions. They can't work with others, and then they might have any emotional outbursts or signs of overwhelm. So I can tell you I have a student this semester who's almost been dealing with a lot of these things, and I always refer them to our wonderful counselors here. And I say, I'll talk to them after class, what's happening? How can I help? We've got free services. But then I also make sure to address the entire class and give them suggestions. So, okay, so how can faculty support students? So again, recognize those executive functioning skills where their deficits are, and then create this supportive and structured environment, and then make sure you're approachable and continue to communicate what's happening in the class. So here are some common strategies. I'll let you guys read those. So I know sometimes it can be like a burden, like, oh my God, I have to send an announcement out to remind them to do this, to remind them to do that, right? But if you think about it, we all have those reminders in our phones. We all have those reminders in our calendars. Where else do we get reminders? The dentist is always sending me reminders, right? Or the doctor. So we're all like bombarded by all of this stuff being thrown at us. So they could use some reminders as well.
Doesn't that add to the stress level too? Where it's like 3 different classes,
yeah.
Constant reminders, like, yes, you don't have to keep on reminding me, I'll do it, right? Like I get that concern too, where it's just like, I don't know what to do and I don't want to overwhelm them.
Yeah. No, I know. I don't even know the right answer. Hunter?
Something that I started doing this semester.
Tell us.
And it's working for this class. I can't say it's going to work for every class. But instead of giving like constant reminders at the beginning of class, like I have like a journal. Once we're done with that, I'll say, how are you guys doing with the assignments? I won't even say which assignment is next. Because like if it's coming soon, I'll be like, it's reminder, it's due Thursday. But if it's like still a couple of dates away, I'll be like, how are you guys doing with assignments? Any questions right now? Anything we need to go over really fast? Will we have like really good focus and attention? I've had 1 or 2 students be like, oh, wait, I have a question about this particular part. But it seems to be less stressful because it's like, hey, reminder, it's due on this day. It's like, hey, you have things coming up. So it's a gentler way of saying, you got this.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I didn't know how to stop talking.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Anyone else have some suggestions? I mean, these are only 4, and there's a ton in the packet. But what are some other things that you guys are doing to accommodate or help your students? Yes.
I send out a weekly announcement.
Yep.
So at the start of the week, Monday, it gets sent with what the schedule for the week looks like and what's due at the end of the week. So instead of just constantly saying this assignment's due, this assignment's due, this assignment's due, I just send one mass announcement reminding them.
And do you do that for in person as well as online?
So first day, yes. This week, remember, we do have chapter 3, Smart Book and Connect quizzes due at the end of the week, and then I do have it on Blackboard as well.
Okay, because I never thought about doing that for in-person classes, because I feel like I just give them, I'm going to show you an example of what I do. But that would help for in-person. Yeah, why not just so everybody's on the same page. Any other ideas?
Yeah, I do the same thing, because even I have the calendar for all my classes, and I go over that in class at the beginning. Just it keeps my students in track. But I do just one announcement like a day before. Like I'll set my announcements ahead of time. Hey, this assignment is due at this time.
Oh, you set it ahead of time.
So that way I set it at a certain time. So that way.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot. That's good though. That's great. Because then because we sometimes forget. But that's smart. Okay, any other ideas? All right, we'll think of them as we go. Oh yeah, we kind of did that. Here's a sample agenda. I do this for all of my in-person classes, so they know exactly what we're doing during that class period. And then there's always the reminders over here. So I always have, what's coming up or what's due that week. And then sometimes, let's see if this link works. Sometimes the link works to whatever we're working on. Oh yeah. So then it kind of came up here, the activity that we were working on for that class. Any other instructional strategies that you want to share? All right. So in addition to instructional strategies, there's some kind of more classroom management, I guess. So again, reviewing those calendars, reviewing the timelines. I have a mentor that I observe, and I was thinking I could open up one of my shelves, but I'm not logged in. But he always opens up the calendar at the start of class and goes through so they visually see that, which I think is a great way, to remind the class of those upcoming due dates again. And actually just, again, shows the shell and the assignments. And just, again, it's just that constant over and over again, reminder, review. So maybe allow flexible deadlines when it's feasible, but obviously we don't want to get into the habit of that all the time. You guys can decide. I know there's some people that are so good about saying, nope, no deadlines, or no late work, but, it's up to the instructor. And then, again, these kind of templates or planners that I kind of showed. And I know I have a lot of colleagues that do check-ins. So does anybody do those kind of mandatory check-ins, either online or in person, where they have to have like a little 1 minute? Yeah, can you tell us how you organize that?
So for my final paper, I assign it after the midterm, so it's like an 8-week long research paper. So they have to do a check-in every few weeks to make sure they're on track.
Oh, that's great.
Research. I also do the breakdown. So
the scaffolding of the assignment.
So
that's great.
You have to check in, and half of them haven't done the first one, so I'm like, where are we at? Are you working on this? And they're like, I've been thinking about ideas. I'm like, it's time to not think anymore and just start to do it.
Mm-hmm. I definitely do like a check-in for I teach intro to education. They have to do a lesson plan implementation for their final. So I do a couple of check-ins. I want to see their written lesson plan and then kind of work with them to either, fix it or modify it, whatever that kind of looks like. Okay. And then just obviously being empathetic, approachable, provide those resources for mental health and academic coaching, and encourage any kind of mindfulness techniques. I know some of my colleagues put up quotes at the beginning, have kind of calming music as people are walking in. There was something I was just going to say about, what a really good way to combat lateness, something I've been doing for years, is have that entrance slip at the start of the class that's worth points. So they have to be on time. and they're taking it online. They fill it out within the first 5 minutes. That's how they earn their kind of points, and it drives them to get there on time. Have you guys ever tried any of that before?
This semester.
You just upload that on Blackboard, or how does that work?
Yeah, you could just have a little quiz in Blackboard ready to go. The other thing that I learned from another colleague of mine, because some students will not show up to class and they know there's a quiz and they will try to take it at home. You have to do the access code. Have you seen that before? You can create an access code in the quiz so that they have to be in class to hear what the code is, so it combats any of that. Hunter?
I got journals from Shakina at the beginning of the semester. Library, come on, like, just a gentle plug.
Yeah.
And I had done entrance slips my first semester, but I kind of had moved away from it, not intentionally, but just like dropped it. And I went back to it this semester, and like, when they show up late, they're like, it's too late, isn't it, for the journal? I'm like, yes, it is. And they're fine, they know.
Yeah.
But they'll sit down and be like, oh, like, thought I could sneak it. I'm like, no. But they accept it very well is the thing. That's what I'm trying to say. But for the most part, my attendance issues have drastically gone down.
Yep. That's good.
What's the percentage of the whole grade overall, like for the attendance looking for the?
So my attendance is worth 40% of their grade.
Okay.
Because part of it is professionalism in early childhood, and that is the standard they are working towards in that. So they have to be on time, and that's part of it. So 50% of their attendance points from the day come from their entrance slip.
Nice. All right. Any other ideas or questions about instructional strategies or classroom management ideas? Yes.
I'd just like to toss out, especially for those of us in the adult ed, where we have high-risk students and students who have only gone to 5th grade, to model certain things. So you can't just say, oh, we'll practice that. Because what does practice look like? So there has to be some sort of, I mean, it could even be like demonstration or something, or, so that they have an idea, or take notes. So if you've only gone to 3rd or 5th grade, what does that mean? So it's important to, I like the doodle idea, or something that shows, what are you looking for, how do you do this, because otherwise it's sort of a blank.
Yep.
And then you're holding them responsible for being,
I like that idea. And what comes to mind is they call it structured notes. So there's somebody in the science department. Who was in science here? I don't know who it was, but she has PowerPoints, and she prints them all out for the lectures, and it's like fill in the blank. So they have to fill in the key words, and that would help to teach them how to note take, right? And then also just holding them accountable, attention, all of that. But yeah, this all takes time, right? It's like I just got to the whole digital agenda. I always used to be big about putting the agenda on the whiteboard. But now that I've done it digitally, it's actually good for me, because then I remember, instead of writing it in a, planner, now I remember, okay, this is what we accomplished last class, and then this is what I have to do for next time. But yeah, you can definitely teach them how to, do the doodle notes, practice it, for sure. So then, obviously, because I'm an educator and we're always emphasizing differentiated instruction, so my exit slip would be, so this is, again, something you can do with your students, okay, name one executive functioning skill. Help me out. Yeah, time management. Another one? Organization, okay. Question 2, name one way you can support a student in your classroom. Reminders, for sure.
Meeting in person?
What is it?
Meeting the student in person?
Yes. Having those little check-ins, yeah.
most of my students come online, and so I call them up. They'll say, I'm gonna call 5 people today, and then I just text them first and say, can I call you now? And then they usually say yes, and so then I'll talk to them for, 5 minutes.
Oh, that's so nice. All right, I like that. And then, is there anything that you would want to use maybe tomorrow or next week?
I like the entrance slip.
Mm-hmm. Yep, entrance slip is really good, and tying it to the grade is even better. And sometimes it doesn't even, it could just be a completion grade, so as long as they're there and they earn the points, it doesn't have to be like whether it's right or wrong.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
It's most of mine are reflect on either like last class or reading, and it's mostly completion. Because sometimes, and I tell them, if you need to write about something else today, because something's happening, you may. And I've had a couple of times where students have been like, this has happened at home. And I'm like, oh, yes, you are not in the mental space for today.
That's,
I don't read it till after, but.
That's great. The other thing, so in this packet, I love this because now you have actual ways to kind of modify the environment based on the executive skill and then a teaching strategy. Yes, these are a little bit more K through 12, but you could kind of adapt it to higher ed.
Can I also make a quick announcement? And I just learned this SALT meeting a couple of hours ago. So CAS next semester is going to be offering executive functioning workshops.
Ooh.
And so they're going to advertise where any student, not just students that use CAS services, but any student would be able to come and sit through like an hour-long workshop with helping them with some of these skills. And they're going to start that in the spring.
Ooh, that's great for our students. Yeah, so then we could, as faculty, maybe offer incentives to get them to go there, extra credit, who knows, whatever you guys think. That would be great. And will the topic change, over
I don't
time?
know. I
Yeah.
just know that she said executive functioning. So
Awesome.
Student, how to student.
Oh, yeah, student team, yeah. All right, so I think I'm at the end here. Like I said, Laura will send out the PowerPoint. And before I let you go, any other questions? These are great resources if you want to take a picture of those books. And then at the end of the slides, I included a lot of the sources that I've given you and a link to the video and some other things as well. So thank you so much. This was a great turnout. Please fill out the evaluation form. I appreciate it. Nice to meet some of you. Nice to see some of you. We're all, again, in our own departments.